You guys have no idea how happy I am right now. I've been searching and just like thinking for like 3 days what the heck I'm gonna make a video on, because there's like literally been nothing happening with Apex at all, and I don't like to just find stupid random stuff to waste your time with. I like to either have content that's like entertaining or funny or informational. I don't really like filler videos. And there's just been nothing happening with Apex. We haven't gotten any new content in 5 weeks. And on top of that, the teasers for Season 6 are just pretty boring. Not really anything to like talk about or speculate about, because we know what's going to be happening next season already. And thank God Dextero came through for me. Bottom of the barrel stuff, you know, I only go there when I'm completely out of ideas. But somebody there wrote an article about a bunch of fan-made hop-ups, and you guys know how much I love doing fan-made stuff. So I want to thank Dextero for the idea, and for you/angry_Worgen over on Reddit for these hop-up ideas. Now we're going to go through, and some of them are a little bit more similar to ones that we've talked about previously than others. But it does bring all new, like, unique ones, as well as graphics with them. So whoever made this made their own graphics, which I really appreciate. So let's get into these. Let's talk about some hop-ups and how they can, like, affect gameplay and stuff. So the first one we're going to talk about is called Barrel Synchronizer. Now, this is a legendary hop-up, and it's only compatible with the alternator. So if you remember way back in the day, alternator had disruptor rounds. I believe that was in Season 2. And since then, the alternator has not gotten any hop-up, so it would be nice to get one back in rotation for the alternator. But this says, allows weapon to fire 2 bullets at a time, but halves the fire rate. So essentially, you'd be able to do double damage, but have half the fire rate. Now, if it were for most other guns, this wouldn't be that big of a deal. Like if you had this on like an R99 or something, it wouldn't be a big deal that fire rate's getting halved. But for that alternator in particular, because it already has such a slow fire rate, and also, you know, if you're doing body shots, I believe it would do 32 damage, but it's cutting that in half. So it's almost like it would be, you know, kind of the same. You would think, because it's 2 bullets and half the fire rate, it would come out to be the exact same thing. But remember, if you have 2 bullets coming out at the same time, that's twice as much recoil. So I don't know how I feel about this. I think it actually might be a detriment to have this weapon have a barrel synchronizer on it. But let me know what you guys think down below. Is there something that I'm missing here? Did I just not understand it right? Because for me, it doesn't really seem like that would be like all that beneficial of a hop-up to have on the alternator. Now moving on, we have AP rounds. I'm getting some like bad flashbacks to like AP classes. I don't know why it has to be named that. But let's get into it. This is for the longbow and the mastiff. That's a really interesting combination of weapons. And it deals damage split equally between shields and health. Now, as soon as I saw the mastiff in there, like as something that can receive a hop-up, I was already skeptical. Because the Mastiff, honestly, if any gun in Apex needs a nerf, it's the Mastiff. It's obscenely overpowered. Like, you could easily do a 122 headshot with it, which just, you know, for a regular weapon on the ground that isn't a sniper rifle, that's kind of crazy. Especially because, you know, you're not getting anywhere near that with the EVA 8. But to deal damage split between shield and health is pretty cool. With the longbow, my only problem with that is it already accepts skull piercer. So I'm thinking that this could, you know, be something for Season 6. But still, overall, I think it's a cool idea. I'm not sure, like, how practical it would be, how much it would, you know, change the game. But I do think it would be something that's beneficial to have, just because it would make it more complicated for the person to heal if they got away. You know, because say you do 50 damage and 25 of it goes into shields and 25 of it goes into health, then you're still wearing that person down because they might only have time to get a shield cell off or something like that. So overall, I think it's a cool idea and definitely one that I haven't seen before. But moving on to rapid fire, which goes on the G7 Scout or the Wingman, increases the rate of fire at the cost of reduced damage and increased recoil. Now, right off the bat, for both of these guns, both of them shoot basically as fast as you can click. So I don't really understand why you'd need an increased rate of fire. I feel like that's more for automatic weapons. So yeah, I'm just gonna skip over that one unless You guys let me know down in the comments. Am I missing something with this? Because, you know, both of those guns have a pretty quick rate of fire. It's just, you know, as fast as you can click. Also, increased recoil on the wingman would be an absolute nightmare. Ricochet rounds are our next one, though, and now we're getting into epic ones. Bullets will bounce off of surface and deal damage at a reduced rate. 40% after the first bounce, 15% after the second bounce. I'm having some, like, serious PTSD from Hanzo, just shooting his arrows in like a hallway and everyone in there dies. That's like, because this is with the Spitfire and the EVA 8. Imagine there's a squad inside a building and you just put all 50 rounds from your Spitfire in there and just have them bounce all over the place. That would be absolute carnage. I just don't think it would work. It's not plausible. It would do way too much damage. It would have to be at more of a reduced rate than 40 and 15, because I could see that being like pretty serious. And another thing with that is that the hitboxes in Apex have always been incredibly wonky, so I could just see a lot of bad stuff going on. Too many moving parts for the devs to handle. But yeah, I mean, cool concept. It just would have to be significantly altered, I guess is the right word. And the last one is Heatsink, and this one's the one that's most commonly talked about, I think, on like the subreddit and stuff like that. This is a very commonly talked about theme that people want for a hop-up for the L-Star, and essentially it just makes it so that you can shoot longer without the L-Star overheating. Now, I don't really think the L-Star really needs all that much help. Really the only time you're going to use it is like close fight or like a close mid-range fight, and if you're missing that many shots, because it does a lot of damage, it's just, you know, it's not good unless you're barrel stuffing it up their butt. So yeah, I don't really think this would be like super necessary. But it wouldn't hurt to have in the game. Like, I don't think it would make the game worse to have it in there. But I just don't think that it would be all that beneficial as a hop-up. And in fact, I think it might just make it, like, obnoxious early game. Like, if you land on, like, Mirage Voyage, and someone's just dumping, like, 100 mags out of an L-Star, like, there's no tomorrow. There's a reason that the overheat is set where it is, because otherwise I think it would just be a little bit too much. That's the list of hop-ups, though. So again, thank you to Dextero, thank you to Angry_Worgen. I really appreciate them letting me mooch off their content while all of us are in this drought together trying to figure out how to produce content for the adoring people who are trying to be entertained during this very boring spell of human history. That's going to be it though, guys, so thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to clap the like button as hard as physically possible. That way, this video will get boosted up in search results, and that would be awesome, and I'd really appreciate that. Also, if you're not already part of the club, you can join it by hitting that red subscribe button right underneath this video. It's entirely free, and you can leave at any point in time if you don't enjoy my beautiful voice and the kind of content I create. That's going to be it though, guys, so thank you again, and until next time, take it easy.